Today I'm gonna show you how to get the sum of all the approved expenses across worksheets. And in this exercise I got 3 worksheets that I'm gonna use. I got the sheet number 1 where I got all the proposed budget for this category, preventive maintenance and repair maintenance, etc. And then the description of the budget, oil change, replace this bridge, etc. And then the amount here is located in column D, and the status, where the status is whether the proposed budget is already approved or the proposed budget is still on pending. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get the approved ones, then I'm gonna get this total sum of this. Then also in sheet number 2, this is the fleet unit that needs trip allowance because they are operating across the regions like West Region, East Region, North Region, etc. And they need a trip allowance for it, and this is the amount of the trip allowance that are proposed to the senior management. And then also we need to get the approved status, and this approved status is the one that will be included in the total sum. Okay, and we're gonna skip all these pending values. We're not gonna include this in the total sum, so only the approved ones. As well as on sheet number 3, I got the sales budget proposal by these sales managers for this month, sales budget. And this is the sales amount for the sales budget proposed by the managers. And also I'm gonna get the approved ones only. I'm gonna get this, I'm gonna get this, and I'm gonna get this, and I'm gonna get this, and I'm gonna get the total of this approved status. Okay, and I got the total of the sheet number 1, sheet number 2, and sheet number 3, and then I'm gonna put them together. And then I'm not gonna put it here in the spreadsheet. I'm gonna put it together in the message box, and in this message box that I'm gonna show it to you, I'm gonna display the message box for you to be able to understand or confirm all the total sum for all the worksheets, for all the approved budget or expense. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this together in the macro which I'm gonna create in the VB editor. So I'm gonna create the macro to get all this in the message box, the total approved expenses. So I'm gonna press the Alt plus F11 to access the VB editor. Then I'm gonna insert the module 1. Then I'm gonna write the macro for this. Okay, I'm gonna name it sum approved expenses across sheets. Okay, that would be my name, macro's name. Then I'm gonna declare all the variables for this, dim ws as worksheet. Okay, then the next variable is header row. So dim header row as range. Next variable is dim last row. Dim last row as long. Okay, I'm gonna specify, or I'm gonna declare the variable for the amount header. Okay, the column for the amount and the column for the status. Very important that I get the status, the approved ones, because that is the criteria that I need in order for me to be able to get the total sum of the amount. So I'm gonna declare the variables for this. So dim amount call as long, okay, comma, then the other one is the status call also as long. Okay, so I get the dim amount call as long, status call as long. That's it. Then another variable is dim total sum. Okay, total sum as double. Then another one, total sum is the total sum of all the worksheets, of all the amount. Okay, I'm gonna get them, put them together as total sum. Then I'm gonna display it in the message box. Okay, so the next one is dim cell. I'm gonna use a loop through. So I need this cell to be declared as variable. So as range. Then I'm gonna initialize the total sum equals 0. So I should start from 0, okay, in order for me to be able to get the correct total of all the columns under the amount column. So what is the total sum equals 0? It initializes the variable total sum to 0 before the macro starts summing anything. So before we sum anything, it should be initialized to 0. Also it ensures that each time the macro runs, it starts fresh, so nothing in the column yet as far as total sums, so it starts fresh without carrying over values from previous runs. Okay, because maybe the first guy, the previous guy who was working on this, and he made some, get some total, then the other guy who took over, in the shift, and then make some changes in terms of the amount, maybe in terms of the status from pending to approval or something else, then it needs to be initialized, also to prevent errors or incorrect total cost by leftover data in memory. Okay, that's the purpose of the total sum. Then let's continue. Then the next step is we're gonna loop through all sheets. So it's important that we capture all the worksheets. Right now we get 3 worksheets only. I have utilized as an example, but you could have more worksheets. So let's say, for example, you got 5 worksheets, then all the total of the worksheets should be captured and then also will be displayed in the message box. Alright, so I'm gonna loop it for each WS in this workbook, worksheets. So for looping this, I don't need to put some range in the worksheets, or maybe assign some names in the worksheets. Then you utilize range to make sure that all the worksheets are captured in the total sum. So the easy thing to do is just this workbook, that worksheets, then you capture everything, all the worksheets in the workbook, and then you have no problems in terms of that's why we need a loop through for this exercise. So that's why I'm gonna use the with WS, then enter. Then I'm gonna clear the filters if any existing. So to remove the filters, I'm gonna use if conditional statement dot auto filter mode. Okay, then that auto filter mode equals false. That's how you remove the auto filter, by just stating it false. Then the next thing is I'm gonna set the header row, assumed to be in row number 1. Right now I got the worksheets, okay, the row in number 1. All the worksheets are all in row number 1. Okay, row number 1. Sheet 1 also in row number 1. And just in case you want to to insert another row above the row number 1, and this row will become row number 2, and perhaps you're inserting another row is because you want to put some titles, or you want to put something else in that above this row, so this row becomes row number 2. So Alt F11. So right now it's in row number 1, so we assume that it's row number 1. So we're gonna set header row equals dot rows. Okay, as I said, number 1, row number 1. Then the next thing is the column for the amount call equals 0. Okay, we'll start from 0, colon, also the status call column for the status also equals 0, and enter. Then dynamically find column numbers, so we're gonna find the column numbers, and then it should be dynamic. So we're gonna use loop through for each cell in header row dot cells. Okay, dot cells. And then I'm gonna use a conditional statement for both the amount in the cell column, okay, and the status. Okay, also I'm gonna use a conditional statement for this, like if trim cell dot value okay equals amount. I'm gonna specify the word amount for the header. Okay, then amount call. So we're gonna use this variable amount call, then equals cell, okay, dot column. All right, enter. Now I'm gonna make another one for the status column. So for me to do it quickly, I'm gonna copy this, Control plus C, okay, then Control plus V. All I have to do is change the amount to status. Okay, that would be quicker rather than typing all again. Then this amount call will become status call. Right, that's it. Okay, then for each cell, the next cell, enter. Then I'm gonna skip the sheet if headers are not found. So in case you have a multiple sheets, maybe 3 sheets have the headers, amount, and status, but the other 2 sheets does not have or don't have a headers like amount or status, then it will be skipped. We'll go to the next sheet. Okay, we'll skip the process of getting the total sum of that sheet, because it doesn't have amount, or it doesn't have maybe it does have amount but doesn't have the criteria that we need, the approved criteria in the status header. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use the conditional statement again for this. If amount call is equal to 0, okay, or any of the two, or the status call also equals 0, okay, any of the two, amount call or status call. In the absence of the any of the two, the process will skip, will not calculate. Then go to, the word go to, this instruction, this is very popular in basic language. The older version of the programming language Goto, are rather basic. Beginners or symbolic instruction code, the basic language, very popular. So anyway, I just mentioned that, nothing important. So next, sheet. Okay, go to next sheet. Then the next thing is I'm gonna find the last row based on status column. Why? Because we're counting the cell, the amount, or rather the status column from the bottom of the column. Then it will go up until it reaches the non-empty cell or non-empty row, okay, or non-empty cell. Okay, that's why we're gonna be using the end and Excel app for this, or rows count Excel app, something like that. Okay, so that would be last row, then equals dot cells, okay, then open parenthesis dot rows dot count, then comma status call. We're counting the status call because the criteria that we need is the approved, so we should count the status call. Then upon getting the approved ones, okay, approve status, then we'll be able to count, or we'll be able to get the total sum. Okay, that's the idea of this. And then close parenthesis dot end, then Excel app, counting of the column, okay, the rows in the column, then that row, then enter. Okay, then we're gonna apply the filter what? Filter for the status, okay, the status approved. Okay, so that would be that range, then open parenthesis that cells, okay, then open parenthesis again, 1, comma 1, then close, then okay, comma dot, okay, cells, then open parenthesis last row, then comma header row, then dot columns S, then dot count, then okay, I'm gonna count the open parenthesis, okay, open parenthesis, we got 1 here, we got pair, so this is no problem for this, to another second one, so we got 2 open parenthesis, therefore we should have 2 close parenthesis. Okay, then auto filter, tab field, okay, then colon equal sign, then status call, then comma criteria 1, because we need the criteria in the status, which is the approved, correct, then colon equals approved. That would be our criteria. Right? Then should be captured within the quotation mark. Otherwise, you will not be able to get the criteria. So next is we're gonna look through visible sales and amount column. The code will calculate and get the total sum of all the amount under approved status. Okay, visible sales. Okay, so we're gonna loop it, enter. So for each cell in that range, then open parenthesis that cells. Okay, then open parenthesis number 2, comma, amount column, right? Then I'm gonna close it, then comma, then that cells, then open parenthesis. Okay, last row, then amount call, then I'm gonna double closing parenthesis. Is that correct? This one is already pair 1 2. Okay, that's it. Okay, then enter. Then I'm gonna use another conditional statement. If not cell, that entire row. Okay, entire row, then that hidden, then so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna find the numbers, the cell, whether the cell is pure number, or perhaps the cell is containing text like total, something else, or text like NA or N, the error text na N slash A, something like that. Then we're gonna find out, then we're gonna ask by this condition, if is numeric. So we're gonna ask whether this is a numeric or not, there is a numeric or not. So cell that value. Okay, then of course now we're gonna get the total sum equals total sum plus cell that value. Okay, then I'm gonna end this F, enter. Another F that we're gonna end, and F, right? Then next cell for this, for each cell. Okay, we're gonna run this loop. Next cell, right? Then next is I'm gonna clear the filter. Okay, I'm gonna clear the filter by dot auto filter mode tab, and then equals false. Okay, we're clearing off the filter, and then end with, right? where's the width? You know, this one. We're ending that one. Okay. Okay, now we're gonna go to next sheet. Colon. Okay, next sheet. Then next WS. Next WS. And then finally we're gonna write the message box, because we want to display the total of the 3 worksheets that we have given as example. So message box. Okay, then I'm gonna say total approved expenses. Okay, put colon, then I'm gonna put quotation mark, ampersand, then I'm gonna format the number, format, okay, which is the total sum, right? Okay, total sum, comma, then I'm gonna format the number, hash sign, comma, hash sign 0.00. Okay, then quotation mark. So that would be the format. Then VB. Where's the VB? No VB here. VB information. Still no information. VB in. I'm gonna type it. Information. Wait, it's Baby Friday. I didn't say Baby Friday. Information. I forgot the closing parenthesis. Okay. Then end sub. Where's the end sub? Oh, very far now. Put it closer. Alright, this is the it will be it will take long time. The first time that you create the macro, it will take long time, but once you have created the macro, it will be easy. You just run the macro every time you need to make changes on the values. You make changes in the in the status. Then you just click every time you click the macro. You assign a button, or you assign a shortcut key, and then you click it. You might say that, oh, it takes very long time to do it, to create the macro. Yes, but not only the first time. But once you have created the macro, you just use the macro every time, and life will be easier for you, and the task will be easy for you. Alright, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna Alt F8 to open the dialog box of macro. I'm gonna run it. See, there's your total approved expenses, 847,350. Okay, that's okay. You got it, right? This is all approved, not including the pending. Let's say you make changes. Let's say this is already approved. All of these are approved, for example. No more pending. See, all are approved. And then you run again. So Alt F8, you run the macro again. Run the macro. It was 847, right? Now it's 962, 850. What about if another worksheet you're gonna, all are already approved? Okay, so 2 worksheets already all approved. So the criteria is all approved, no more pending. So I'm gonna run the macro again. Remember how much was it? Now it's already 987,650, the total approved. Okay, what about another worksheet? Let's say all of these are approved. Okay, all of these are approved, or 1 is approved, 2 is approved, 3 is approved. No, doesn't matter. The macro will definitely find the criteria approved, right? So let's say Alt F8. Now it's 1,523,900. Okay, what if this is blank? Let's just say this is blank, nothing in it, does not contain anything. Or maybe 1 is in progress. Okay, it doesn't matter, because the criteria was set for the approve only. So whether it's blank or okay, let's find out. Alt S F8, then we're gonna run it. Okay, total approved expenses 526,500 only. Okay, why this is so small now? Because the amount here in this third sheet is higher amount compared to the other 2. This is 185,250, bigger amount. But here in sheet 2, small amount. That's why when we remove, what about nothing here? No. I'm gonna put it here. So let's say, for example, here, nothing here. I'm gonna delete that. Blank. This is blank. So I'm gonna run the macro again, Alt F8, and then run it again. So it changes 409,000 only. Okay. So I think you get the idea how this thing work already. So thank you for watching, and see you in the next one.